Many people believe that spiritual awakening brings superpowers or mystical visions, but the truth is much deeper and quieter. There is a specific ability that the chosen ones develop, which causes immediate discomfort in any social environment. It's not about reading minds, but something that terrifies the common consciousness, the ability to see naked reality. Most of us live immersed in a fog of thoughts, judgments, and constant labels. When we meet someone, our mind already catalogs them by appearance, job title, or bank account. The chosen one, however, clears those lenses. They can look at a situation or person without the interference of mental noise, seeing the essence of what is truly happening there. This clear vision acts like an X-ray that cuts through collective lies. The chosen one realizes that many structures we consider solid, such as status and power, are just part of the act. When you stop taking the theater of the world seriously, you become unpredictable and impossible to manipulate, which scares those who control the system. In this video, we will dive into the layers of this unique perception and understand why your clarity is felt as an attack by those who prefer illusion. We will explore how that space between stimulus and your reaction is the greatest proof of freedom a human being can achieve, turning you into a living mirror. I'm George, and I invite you to reflect with me on this silent power that lives within you. Before we share the secrets of this vision that sees beyond the veil, I ask you to follow our channel now. Join this community of seekers who are not afraid of the truth and are ready to awaken for real. Imagine that throughout your whole life, you wore glasses with colored lenses that distorted everything around you. Suddenly those glasses fall off, and you see the world for the first time without filters. For the chosen one, this is what it feels like to live without labels. While most people spend energy cataloging everything, you simply observe life as it is. The average human being has an almost desperate need to classify people into mental drawers. When we meet someone, within seconds our mind has already decided if that person is important, dangerous, attractive, or irrelevant. We don't see the other. We see our opinion about the other, based on what they wear, what they own, or the position they hold. The chosen one develops the mystical ability to suspend this incessant mental commentary. When they meet someone, they remain in a state of total openness and receptivity. They're not interested in the resume or the bank account, but in the vibration and the humanity that emanate from that being. This creates a type of encounter that is rare and profound in today's world. However, this transparency usually causes immediate discomfort in those around. Most people are used to being judged and wear masks to protect themselves. When they realize you are truly seeing them without buying into the image they're trying to project, they feel naked. It's as if your silent presence reveals all their insecurities. Being seen without the filter of judgment is frightening because it takes control away from those who want to be admired. The chosen one is not seduced by charm, nor impressed by titles of authority. They see the wounded child or the frightened ego behind the facade of success. This direct vision destabilizes those who live only for superficial appearances. This ability goes far beyond social gatherings. It applies to every detail of daily life. You begin to see situations without the overlay of past fears and desires. If it's raining outside, you see the rain, not the problem that rain causes to your plans. This acceptance of reality brings a peace that others don't understand. Often people will try to force you into the usual debates of who's better or who's right. They want you to validate the labels they've created to feel safe. By refusing to play this labeling game, you become an enigmatic figure. Your attentive silence communicates more than 1,000 words of judgment. Living without labels requires constant internal work to keep the mind from taking control again. You must watch your own thoughts to ensure the fog of conditioning doesn't return to cover up reality. The chosen one knows that truth only blooms when we stop trying to trap life inside small and limited mental categories. Modern society is built on a foundation of fictions that we all agree to believe in order to maintain order. Things like the value of money, the weight of noble titles, and the importance of borders are just stories we tell one another. The chosen one is the one who can see through these stories without being hypnotized by them. For most people, these inventions are as real as the air they breathe. They sacrifice health, family time, and even mental peace in exchange for symbols that deep down hold no intrinsic value. When the chosen one realizes that money is just a game of numbers and trust, they stop being a slave to the system. This realization doesn't make them irresponsible or unwilling to work. On the contrary, they may be able to play the worldly game even better than others, but they do it with absolute lightness. They do not worship material success nor despair in the face of financial crises, because they know they are dealing with a purely imaginary reality. The real danger to the system begins when you stop taking institutions and hierarchies so seriously. Power only exists as long as people believe in it and submit out of fear. The chosen one looks at a powerful leader and sees just another human being with the same doubts and fragilities that any common person has in life. This clear vision acts as a threat to the nationalist, the religious fanatic, and the corporate loyalist. These people have built their entire identities around collective fictions. If you demonstrate, just by the way you are, that these structures are arbitrary and optional, you shake the very ground on which they've built their houses. By seeing Earth instead of countries, and human beings instead of nationalities, you become a citizen of the universe. You can no longer be recruited for ideological wars or hate-fueled conflicts for abstract causes. Your loyalty is to life, to what is tangible and true, not to flags or doctrines invented by men. This clarity reveals that most of our daily worries are symptoms of a misunderstanding about what is real. We suffer over things that exist only in our minds or in social agreements. The chosen one clears this confusion and focuses on what is essential: connection, presence, and the unfathomable mystery of conscious existence. Society depends on people continuing to hallucinate together in a coordinated way. When someone wakes up from this collective dream, they become a defect in the control system. Their freedom of thought is contagious and can awaken others, which is the greatest fear of any structure that relies on mass manipulation. Accepting that the world is a grand stage requires the courage not to get lost in the performance of others. You learn to observe social rules like someone observing the rules of a board game, useful for interaction, but never absolute. This healthy distance allows you to live with integrity, without selling your soul to fleeting illusions. The chosen one is the one who walks through the city, seeing monuments, banks, and courthouses, but without forgetting that beneath it all, there is only raw earth and human consciousness. They are not deceived by civilization's makeup. They seek the truth that remains when all human fictions and stories finally come to an end. Most people live as if they were programmed by invisible software. If someone verbally attacks them, they feel immediate anger. If someone praises them, the ego inflates instantly. It's a mechanical cycle of action and reaction that takes away all human freedom. The chosen one, however, has discovered a valuable secret: the sacred space that exists between what happens and how he responds. This ability to pause is what truly differentiates someone who has awakened from someone still living in automatic mode. Imagine a stressful event happening at your job. The natural impulse would be to panic or complain. But the chosen one can observe that impulse rising within himself as if he were a spectator of his own emotions, without being dragged by them. In that small interval of time, which may last only a second, resides true human freedom. It is there that you stop being a predictable machine and become a master of your own consciousness. You see irritation arrive, but choose not to give it a voice. You notice the fear, but choose to act with prudence instead of cowardice. This autonomy is extremely threatening to systems of social control. Think about it. How can you manipulate someone who does not react to guilt, fear, or vanity? The advertiser tries to make you feel inadequate so that you buy something, but you observe that feeling and don't take the bait. You become immune to the tools of mass control. To others, this calmness may seem like coldness or indifference, but it's exactly the opposite. It's a presence so intense that nothing external can shake your center. While everyone around is lost in chaotic reactions and unnecessary arguments, the chosen one remains like a rock in the middle of the river. The waters crash, but the rock remains. By developing this inner space, you stop projecting your frustrations onto the world. You understand that no one has the power to make you angry without your consent. This realization lifts the burden of being a victim of circumstances. You take the helm of your emotional boat, sailing wisely even when the external sea is rough and dark. This freedom of choice also makes the chosen one unpredictable for the system. You don't follow the expected script of consumption, political hatred, or social competition. Your response to an insult might be silence or a gentle smile, which completely disarms any aggressor. You break the cycle of violence and negativity that feeds the world. Training this pause requires constant vigilance and a lot of patience with yourself. In the beginning, automatic reactions still win many battles, but over time, the space between stimulus and response grows. The chosen one becomes a careful observer of himself, ensuring that his actions in the world come from clarity, not from reflexes conditioned by the past. The revolution of simple presence. Many people believe that in order to change the world or influence others, they need eloquent speeches or great heroic actions. The chosen one, however, discovers that his greatest tool of transformation is his own silent presence. There is something in the energy of someone who is genuinely awake that acts as a mirror for everyone who crosses their path. Being near someone who isn't trying to prove anything is a deeply disturbing experience for the common ego. Society teaches us to always be on guard, competing for attention or trying to show superiority. When someone simply is, without masks or defenses, they create a vacuum of silence that forces others to look at themselves. Your presence reveals, without you having to say a single word, the lack of freedom of those around you. If you are at peace while everyone else is anxious, your peace is felt as a provocation. People begin to feel uncomfortable with their own mental noise, with their constant complaints, and with the superficiality of the lives they lead. This discomfort is what makes the chosen one dangerous to other people's comfort zones. You're not judging anyone, but your lack of judgment makes others feel judged by their own conscience. It's like turning on a light in a place where people preferred to stay asleep. The light doesn't attack, but it bothers those who want darkness. Many will try to label you as arrogant, weird, or antisocial just to explain the discomfort they feel. It's easier to attack the mirror than to face the image it reflects. The chosen one understands this reaction and is not shaken. He knows his role is not to please everyone, but to remain true to the frequency of truth he has earned. This silent revolution happens in the most ordinary places, in a bank line, in a coffee break conversation, or in the workplace. By not joining in the vibration of complaints and gossip, you alter the energy field of the space. Some people will feel drawn to this calm, while others will feel an inexplicable urge to walk away from you. Living with this presence means you no longer need persuasion techniques to be heard. Your authority does not come from a position, but from the integrity between what you feel and how you move through the world. People feel that you are real in a world of simulations, and this authenticity is both magnetic and frightening. The Chosen One accepts that his presence is an act of service to the truth. He doesn't try to convert anyone to his way of life because he understands that awakening is an individual process. He simply remains available, being a living example that it's possible to live without the constant effort of being someone other than your true essence. In the end, the revolution of presence is about being a channel for something greater. When you empty your ego of desires for control and recognition, life flows through you with clarity. You become a silent reminder that freedom is not a distant destination, but a choice that can be made here and now, with every breath. Most people live in a desperate search for certainty. They need ready-made answers, closed ideologies, and guarantees about the future in order to sleep peacefully. The Chosen One, however, develops a skill that seems like madness to the world. He makes peace with not knowing. He understands that the human mind is far too limited to grasp the vastness of life. While many cling to religious dogmas or political convictions as if they were lifeboats, the Chosen One walks freely. He realizes that false certainty is merely a prison disguised as safety. By accepting that reality is a constant mystery, he stops trying to control the flow of things. This brings a lightness that intimidates those who need to control everything. When you're not afraid of doubt, you become impossible to manipulate by those who sell magical promises. The Chosen One can listen to opposing opinions without feeling threatened, because his identity doesn't depend on being right. He can see truth in multiple sides of the same issue, embracing paradox where others see only conflict and separation. This comfort with the unknown allows the Chosen One to fully live in the present. While the world consumes itself with anxiety about what's to come, he rests in the trust that life knows what it's doing. This posture is deeply unsettling to society, which profits from fear and the need for quick answers. The silence of the Chosen One in the face of mystery is his greatest strength. Another striking ability of the Chosen One is the capacity to perceive the real motivations behind other people's words. He has spent so much time observing his own mind that he can now identify ego patterns in others. He does not see only what people say, but why they are saying it. He perceives the need for approval, fear, or emotional lack. This X-ray vision cuts through charm, charisma, and positions of authority. To the Chosen One, a powerful leader is seen simply as a human being who often uses power to hide his own wounds. He is not swayed by carefully constructed images. This clarity makes people feel exposed in his presence, which creates immediate discomfort. This is not a critical or cynical gaze, but one of deep compassion. The Chosen One understands that aggressive or vain behavior is merely the cry of a frightened ego. However, because he does not fall for the theater of appearances, he cannot be controlled by praise or intimidation. He treats the beggar and the king with the same dignity, because he sees the same essence in both. For those who base their entire lives on building a social persona, encountering a Chosen One is terrifying. There is nowhere to hide. No manipulation works. This ability to see the truth behind the mask is what makes the Chosen One a foreigner in the world of simulations. He prefers naked, raw truth over any lie that is well-dressed and socially accepted. The final and most impactful discovery of the Chosen One is that suffering is not caused by the world, but by our reaction to it. He realizes that physical pain or material losses are part of life, but the mental drama we create around these facts is optional. This realization removes the weight of victimhood, transferring the key to happiness from the hands of fate to his own. This posture is offensive to most people because it removes all excuses for unhappiness. Society loves to blame the government, the economy, or the past for its pain. The Chosen One demonstrates that, regardless of what happens on the outside, inner peace is a sovereign choice. By assuming total responsibility, he becomes truly free and independent of the system. This freedom reveals that the cage in which we live has no real bars, only lies that we have chosen to accept as truth. The Chosen One does not wait for the world to change in order to feel well. He changes his own vision. This makes him unshakable. He understands that happiness is not something to be achieved, but the natural state of one who has stopped fighting reality. By living this way, you become a dangerous mirror. Your autonomy reveals to others that they too could be free if they had the courage to look within. The Chosen One does not carry other people's burdens, nor does he allow external chaos to steal his clarity. He is the owner of his own experience, living with the authority of one who has discovered that the kingdom of truth has always existed within himself. We have reached the point where we understand that awakening is not a destination filled with flowers, but a continuous choice to keep one's eyes open. The ability to see reality naked, without the filter of our fears and prejudices, is the greatest treasure a human being can acquire. However, as we have seen, this clarity comes at a high social cost. It makes us different, unpredictable, and, to many, an uncomfortable presence. The danger of surpassing the consciousness of those around us is the price we pay for our integrity. Being chosen means accepting that, in many moments, you will walk alone, not because you are better than anyone else, but because your rhythm in the search for truth is more intense. The loneliness you sometimes feel is not a mistake along the way, but the silence necessary for you to hear your own soul without the interference of the noise of the world. Throughout this journey, you have realized that most people prefer the safety of a comfortable lie over the challenge of a truth that would force them to change. Do not feel anger or superiority because of this. Feel compassion. Remember that each of us is at a different stage of maturation. Your role is not to force anyone's awakening, but to be the embodiment of the peace and clarity you yourself have discovered at your center. The freedom you now carry is proof that the cage society tries to imprison us in is made only of thoughts and unfounded beliefs. When you stop being a slave to automatic reactions and stop validating collective fictions, you reclaim your personal power. You become a spiritual warrior who does not fight with swords, but with the light of consciousness, dissolving the shadows of manipulation and fear wherever you go. Do not betray what you have seen. If your gaze now reaches horizons others ignore, honor that vision. Do not try to shrink yourself again to fit into small spaces or empty conversations just to be accepted. The world needs people who have the courage to be authentic, even if that means being misunderstood. Your authenticity is the greatest service you can offer humanity right now, because it serves as a compass for others who are also ready to awaken. Trust the process and the intelligence of life that brought you here. The dark night and the isolation are only the birth pains of a new self, much freer, more alive, and more conscious. What you lost along the way were only masks and illusions. What you gained was yourself. And when you discover who you truly are, you realize that you were never alone, because you are part of an invisible network of seekers who, like you, chose light over shadow. I am George, and it has been an honor to share this deep reflection with you. If these words resonated in your heart and brought some relief to your journey, I invite you to follow our channel now and share this video with someone who is also going through this awakening process. Let us strengthen together this community of chosen ones who have decided to see life as it truly is. Until our next meeting.